Hello friends and welcome to Techie Jack. In this video we are going to see remote PowerShell access to Exchange server. If you don't have an Exchange management tool installed on your local computer, you can use a Windows PowerShell to create a remote PowerShell session to an Exchange server. Though it is recommended that you install a Exchange management shell on any computer that you use to administer Exchange server, Remote PowerShell in Microsoft Exchange allow you to manage your Exchange organization from a remote computer that is on your internal network or from the outside network like on the internet. And yes, of course, you can disable or enable a user ability to connect to a Exchange server using the remote PowerShell. And by default, all user account have access to the remote PowerShell, but actually to use the remote PowerShell to connect an Exchange server, the user need to be a member of a management role group, or you can directly assign a management role that enables the user to run Exchange cmdlets. To require all PowerShell scripts that you download from the internet are signed by the trusted publisher, you have to run the set execution policy command on the elevated PowerShell. And it's a simple 3-step process where you enter the credential, provide the required connection settings, and then import the Exchange cmdlets on your local computer so that you can use the PowerShell session. So let's see how we can perform these steps. So right now we are on our Exchange admin center, and let me go to the server, and I want to show you the virtual directory for the PowerShell. And if I edit this one, you can see the internal URL is exchange2.techiejack.local/PowerShell. This is the internal URL. That means I can access the remote PowerShell on this URL from internally over the LAN. If you want to access the PowerShell on the external URL, you have to configure this URL. So right now we are just testing it from the inside. So I want to show you this URL. That's why I'm showing you this. So let me cancel it and let's go to the local computer. Let me maximize it. Here we can see the Windows 10. Let me connect this. So this is a Windows computer and it is joined with the techiejack.local domain. Let me see ns lookup. You can see tc2.techiejack.local. This is joined as client 002.techiejack.local. So let me open the PowerShell, and you have to run it in a elevated mode, like run as administrator. And here we have. So the very first command we have to use is set execution policy remote signed, and hit enter. It will give you a prompt that the execution policy help protect you from the script that you do not trust. So I am just typing yes and hit enter. And the next command will be for the credentials, user credentials equals to get credential, and hit enter. It will ask you the credential. Let me type. I'm using the administrator account. You can use any other account. It should have a permission to access the Exchange management shell. So this is done, and now we have to connect the connection, and that is for like how we can do that. Session equals to new PS session, configuration name, that is Microsoft Exchange, connection URI, and in our case it is HTTP server, sorry, it's Exchange 2. It's the name of the Exchange server, exchange2.techiejack.local. we are from the inside, we are just connecting it from the inside of a domain. So I'm using it as a http exchange2.techiejack.local, and the full URI was that PowerShell, and the authentication method Kerberos, credential is user's credential. Let me hit enter. Okay, now we have to import the PS session. So import PS session $session and disable name checking, and hit enter. So now you can see the creating implicit remote module. It's getting formatted the output information. So now it seems to be connected. So this is a local computer in my LAN and I am connected with the Exchange Management Shell. If we type some cmdlets here, let's see if it works or not. Okay, let me type first get mailbox. Here we have the mailboxes. You can see these are the mailboxes we have in our Exchange. And get Exchange server, we have a name exchange2 techiejack.local. Let me type the get accepted domain. You can see it's showing the accepted domain like techiejack.local and techiejack.online, and both domain type are authoritative. Get email address policy, default policy, lowest alias. Get receive connector. Here we have the receive connectors. See, you can see we can access all these things. Get client access service FL name auto discover service internal URI. It will show the auto discover URL, and that is the auto discover URL like https mail.techiejack.online autodiscover.xml. Let's check get message tracking log. You can see the sender was Jack. It says hi. These are the message tracking log. And one thing to note here, when we ran this command, here you see the HTTP. When you open the ECP or OWA, it requires you the HTTPS, but when you are connecting with the remote PowerShell, you have to type a HTTP. It works on port 80. One more thing to inform you is that if you get an error while doing this, the most common problem is the incorrect password or username, or might be the port 80 is enabled or not. There should be the TCP port 80 should be enabled for your Exchange server. User should have the access to the Exchange Management Shell. You can use this cmdlet to enable the remote PowerShell for a user, that is set user. For example, the username is Jack remote PowerShell enabled $2. If you will run this cmdlet, particular user will be enabled for the remote PowerShell access. So once you are done with your session, be sure to disconnect the remote PowerShell session when you are finished. So in order to disconnect the session, we have to just type it remove PS session $session and hit enter. And now if you type the get mailbox, it will show you the error. See. I hope you found the video informative. Let's meet in the next video. So friends, if you found the video informative, do subscribe the channel and also check out some other video links on the screen.